Hello and welcome. I am Light, and this is my channel. Today is going to be the first segment of a couple where I'm going to do some deep diving into secret societies. What do you think? Are you ready to do that? If you would give this video a thumbs up, if you're not subscribed, please do so. And let's get into this, shall we? Okay, this is the 6th time I've tried to say this paragraph. Cross your fingers, pray, light candles, here we go. The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, more commonly known as Golden Dawn, was a secret society devoted to the study and practice of occult hermetism and metaphysics during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. It is based upon the god Hermes, whom I spoke about a couple of videos ago. Thank you. No, go ahead, hold the applause. Thank you. Known as a magical order, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn was active in Great Britain and focused its practices on theurgy and spiritual development. Many present-day concepts of ritual and magic that are the center of contemporary traditions such as Wicca and Thelema were inspired by this Golden Dawn cult, which became one of the largest single influences on the 20th century Western occultism. So, the Golden Dawn had 3 founders, men, naturally: William Robert Woodman, William Wynne Westcott, and Samuel Liddell Mathers. And guess what they were? Freemasons. We're going to do a segment on Freemasons coming up. And because of this, the Golden Dawn system was based on hierarchy and initiation that was nearly identical to the Masonic lodges. However, women were admitted and they were considered to be on an equal basis with men. Okay, so the Golden Dawn was the first of 3 orders. You graduated into each order. Although, oftentimes, because it's basically under the hood of one order, being the Golden Dawn, the 3 of them are still referred to as the Golden Dawn. The first order, the Outside Ring, taught esoteric philosophy based on Hermetic Kabbalah and personal development through study and awareness of the 4 classic elements, as well as the basics of astrology, tarot divination, and geomancy. The second was the Inner Circle that you graduated to, and that was called the Rose Rubea et Ure Crucis, and they taught magic, including scrying, astral traveling, and alchemy. The third order, the very inner order, was that of the secret chiefs, who were said to be highly skilled. They supposedly directed the activities of the lower 2 orders by spirit communication with the chiefs of the second order. The foundational documents of the original Order of the Golden Dawn, known as the cipher manuscripts, are written in English using the Trithemius cipher. The manuscripts give the specific outlines of the grade rituals of each order and prescribe a curriculum of graduated teachings that encompass the Hermetic Kabbalah, astrology, occult tarot, geomancy, and alchemy. According to the records of the order, the manuscripts were passed from Kenneth R. H. Mackenzie, a Masonic scholar, to the Reverend A. F. A. Woodford, whom British occult writer Francis King describes as the 4th founder, although Woodford died very shortly after the order was founded. The documents did not excite Woodford, and in February of 1886, he passed them on to another Freemason, William Wynne Westcott, who managed to decode them in 1887. Westcott was pleased with his discovery, so he called on fellow Freemasons Samuel Liddell and MacGregor Mathers for second opinions. Westcott asked for Mathers' help to turn the manuscripts into a coherent system for their lodge work. Mathers asked fellow Freemason William Robert Woodman to assist the 2, and he accepted. Mathers and Westcott have been credited with developing the ritual outlines in the cipher manuscripts, into a workable format. Mathers is generally credited with the design of the curriculum and the rituals of the Second Order, which he called Ruby, Rose, and Golden Cross. In October of 1887, Westcott claimed to have written to a German countess, a very prominent woman in the occult named Anna Sprengel, whose address he said he found in the cipher. According to Westcott, Sprengel claimed the ability to contact supernatural entities known as the Secret Chiefs. And of course, they were considered the authorities over any magical order or esoteric organization. So Westcott received a reply from Sprengel, and she granted permission to establish a Golden Dawn temple, and then she gave honorary grades to Westcott, Mathers, and Woodman. The temple was to consist of 5 grades that were outlined in the manuscript. So now we've gone from 3 grades to 5 grades. In 1888, the Isis Urania Temple was founded in London. Women were allowed and welcome to participate in this order in perfect equality with men. The order was more of a philosophical and metaphysical teaching order in its early years. Magical practices were not generally taught to people in the First Temple Order. Eventually, the Osiris Temple in Weston-super-Mare, the Horus Temple in Bradford, and the Amun-Ra Temple in Edinburgh were founded in 1888, 1893, and in 1893, Mathers also founded the Ahatur Temple in Paris. It was growing and growing. And remember, this is secret. They can't really tell anybody. You have to have a specific invitation, just the way the Masonic orders work today. In 1890, Westcott's correspondence with Anna Sprengel ceased. He said that it was because she had passed away, and that her companions did not approve of the founding of the order, and no further contact was going to be made. If the founders were to contact the secret chiefs, apparently it had to be done on their own. So, not surprisingly, in 1892, Mathers professed that he had found the link to the secret chiefs, and it had been established that he would commence with the rituals and supply the information for the Second Order. The followers of the Golden Dawn tradition believed that the secret chiefs were not human or supernatural beings, but rather symbolic representations of actual or legendary sources of spiritual esotericism. The term came to stand for a great leader or teacher of a spiritual path, or a practice that found its way into the teachings of the order. By the mid-1890s, the Golden Dawn was well established over Great Britain and had over 100 members from every class of Victorian society. There were many celebrities, there was poets, there was authors, and there was Aleister Crowley. If you're not well versed in Aleister Crowley, he was an English occultist, ceremonial magician, poet, novelist, mountaineer, and painter. He was a practitioner of what he called magic, M-A-G-I-C-K, and he called himself the Beast 666. He is famous for his development of the philosophical systems called Thelema and his concepts of magic, M-A-G-I-C-K. In fact, this person is such a frightening person that when Rob and I first started getting together on this channel, he was going to do a segment on Aleister Crowley, and he refused after looking further into him and decided that it was too much to get into without it being scary. Towards the end of 1899, the members of the Isis Urania and Amun-Ra temples had become dissatisfied with Mathers' leadership, as well as his growing friendship with Aleister Crowley. They had also become anxious to make contact with the secret chiefs themselves, instead of relying on Mathers as their intermediary. Within the Isis Urania Temple, disputes were arising between what was called the Sphere, which is another secret society within the Isis Urania, and the rest of the circle. Crowley was refused initiation into any of the outer circles. So, because of that, Mathers overrode that decision and allowed him to become a member and go straight to the inner circle, and then demanded that Aleister Crowley be given the paperwork that showed that he was a member of the inner circle. On March 3rd, a committee of 7 members was elected in London and requested a full investigation into this matter. Mather sent an immediate reply, and he declined to provide any proof, and he refused to even acknowledge that there were temples in London. So, a general meeting was called on the 29th of March, and in London, and they removed Mathers as the chief, and they expelled him completely from the order. Mathers went on his way, and there were 2 other circles that did still accept him, and he went on to rename them from the Golden Dawn to the Alpha et Omega. Most temples of the Alpha et Omega closed or went into even more secrecy by the end of the 1930s, with 2 exceptions. There was the Hermes Temple in Bristol, which operated until 1970, and be patient with me here. Smargdom, the Aleister Temple, commonly referred to as the Wara, in Havelock, North New Zealand, and that operated until 1978. Here are a few of some of the more well-known members. Emily Catherine Bates, she was a British spiritualist author and a novelist. Charles Henry Allen Bennett, he's best known for introducing Buddhism to the West. Arnold Bennett was a British novelist. Edward W. Berridge was a British homeopathic physician. Algernon Blackwood, who was a writer and a radio broadcaster of supernatural stories. Gabriel Bothwick, she was a British pioneering motorist, mechanic, garage owner, and driving teacher. Anna de Bremont was an American singer and writer. Aleister Crowley, of course, occultist, writer, mountaineer, founder of his own magic society, really crazy, really thought that he was Satan. Florence Farr, she was a London stage actress and a musician. Arthur Machen, he wrote fiction such as The Great God Pan, The White People, and The Hill of Dreams, which were to do with the occult. Dax Romer, who created the Fu Manchu character, and one of the 4 most well-known people in literature, W.B. Yeats. And while no temples of the original chartered lineage of the Golden Dawn survived past the 1970s, to this day, there are some still operating. The Thelemic Order of the Golden Dawn, which was founded in 1990. The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, which was founded in 1977. And the Open Source Order of the Golden Dawn, which was founded in 2002 and was still operating as of 2019. I hope you found this interesting. And it will lead up to when I do a segment on the Masons and the Masonic Temple. Thank you for coming to my channel, and good night.